Welcome to the Programming Lions podcast. This is our 100th episode. Instead of having a unique guest, we had a tragedy happen last week, and we're going to use this time to honor Charlie Kirk, a hero, a friend, someone we all looked up to, what he meant, what this horrible tragedy means for the movement, where we go from here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 100. This is a milestone for us.
Not necessarily in a good way this time.
Yeah, not in the way that we anticipated.
Yeah.
Let's maybe do a little reflection about Charlie, what happened, and I think also maybe we can talk about our journey to get to 100 episodes. It's a good milestone. Not a lot of podcasts get here, so
yeah, like less than 1%.
It is. A lot
Guys,
of people.
we're the top 1%ers.
So let's start with this. Charlie Kirk, you guys have had the chance to meet him at a few events, ask him questions. You've seen his family. And so for those reasons, this hit a little closer to home for us. But tell me what you took away from the events and tragedy that happened last week.
Well, the event that we met him at was like 2 years ago. It was cool because me and Max were like super excited to meet him, right? And then once we got there, we asked him his questions at this big church place.
Yeah, Freedom Night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was really cool because, well, he's a big guy, right? And then he's also a chill guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very inspiring, very nice to us.
Yeah.
It was a very cool experience.
It was. You guys both got to ask questions. It was a more intimate event. And because we live in the same town that Charlie and his family and Turning Point are in, we've had the opportunity to go to some of their more intimate events where we've gotten to ask questions. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we also went to AmFest. We had a booth at AmFest last year in December.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We didn't get to connect with them there, but we connected with a lot of Turning Point contributors and met tons of supporters. It was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
All right. Max, what's your thoughts about what happened?
Well, I just think that it's really sad to know that, like, someone killed him, even though he had, like, a family, 2 kids younger than 3 or 3 and younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, then those kids will never grow up with a father like what we did. And it's just like, and also he was trying to live his own, like, life, trying to make the American dream happen. So I just think it's a horrible tragedy that he actually got assassinated.
Right. Yeah, it's awful. Political violence has no place in this country. And we'll get into that a little bit more. But what did Charlie mean to you? You've had the opportunity to see him a lot in terms of his content, a couple of his events, of course. But what did the work that he did mean to you, or what did you take from it?
Well, I'd say that he was pretty inspiring. It was pretty cool seeing him doing all of his debates and stuff against these liberals and like being totally chill, right? And then just like destroying them. That was something that was really cool. And I wanted to be, and I kind of want to be something like that. I think that's just like a sick feature to have.
Yeah. Skill, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skill.
Mm-hmm.
Also his stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we went to AmFest and stuff, he is very good at speaking.
Right.
And then especially after what happened, right? We've been watching the news and they've played some, of his clips and stuff. And I've seen even more things from like farther back before I even really knew him. And he is a good speaker. He's very inspiring. He's just such a cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's articulate, good, crisp, confident, and he's very sharp. He has a lot of knowledge too, especially on faith and American history and the Constitution. And so he's a difficult guy to debate with. I can understand why a lot of people had challenges debating with him.
For me, it was mostly his faith, but he also was one that got me into faith and stuff. I like how his wife did 365.
Right.
I liked how he followed with that. And I just love what he was doing with his faith in Jesus.
Yeah, definitely a strong Jesus believer. Talked about faith all the time. In fact, I think when he was asked what he wanted to be remembered for, it was his faith.
Yeah.
Number one. And I think maybe number two is being a good family man and a father, which I'd say he did all of those quite well. What else did Charlie do during his life that was amazing?
Well, he started Turning Point, which has been a big company that has made a bunch of really big contributors
Contributions?
to the conservative area, and then they came and just talked and talked. So yeah, it's really cool that he could do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turning Point went from a garage operation into a multi-thousand employee, tens of thousands of people activated out in the communities, whether it was Turning Point Action, getting people out to vote, or
Yeah.
Turning Point chapters at high schools and colleges. They're all over the country now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He helped a lot with the election, right? He helped Trump win and stuff.
Yeah, Trump pretty much gives him credit for getting the youth vote out.
Yeah, he also helped a lot with Gen Z, right? Very inspirational to a lot of them. That was literally his main message, right? And it seems like that message succeeded pretty well, right? Because well, you could see how far his company went and how influential he was to many people.
Yeah, Gen Z kind of swung the vote in the last election, and Gen Z has been notably the most conservative generation in a long time, and it's undeniable that Charlie Kirk had a huge impact in that. Right? And now we see a lot of young people coming back to faith, and I think it's valid to say that Charlie Kirk and Turning Point have a lot to do with that, because as you know, they have Turning Point Faith. We've had the opportunity to talk to people like Lucas Miles on our show, remember? And they're expanding that operation and having a lot of success too, getting young people into faith.
Yeah. Overall, I think those are probably the best. You could probably go on for a long time about like everything that he's done, but
yeah,
I'd say those are probably the best things that he's done.
Right. Well, what do you make of this political violence that happened? I mean, he was assassinated.
We do not go out and, like, let's say Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, right? We do not go out, pull out like a weapon and just try to shoot at them.
Yeah.
Well, the like Democrats and all of them, like they tried it on Trump and then it succeeded on Charlie Kirk.
Melissa Hortman and her husband and their dog were shot in Minnesota. That was also a horrible tragedy.
Yeah.
And so it happens. It does happen both sides of the political spectrum. Nonetheless, there's been a lot of violence towards political opponents, particularly in the last couple of years. It's wild, and it's uncalled for, but it seems to be kind of ratcheting up with radical ideologies, and probably on both sides. Like the frequency of this is unlike anything I've seen in my lifetime. What do you make of it? What do you think's causing that?
Something that I've noticed, and I've also done like a little bit of research on this, right? I think what it might be is where a lot of Democrats, as I said before, I think, or mainly Republicans are being assassinated. There is that case in Minnesota, which is also sad. Democrats typically, they, call Trump a Nazi, right? A fascist, a Hitler, right?
Evil, threat to democracy, things
the
like
devil,
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Even South Park said that.
Yeah, South Park does episodes with him, sleeping with the devil.
Yeah. So like everybody's basically depicting him, Charlie Kirk, a bunch of people on the Republican Party and Conservative Party as
all those things.
Bad, very bad.
Like the
people.
worst things you can imagine. Yeah.
And then people who are in my view, mentally insane, kind of like the person who just killed Charlie Kirk. So what I think is where possibly those people that have mental illnesses are like, oh my gosh, this person's Hitler. I should kill him because that's the best thing to do.
I mean, Hitler's bad.
But,
you would want to get rid of Hitler, right?
Yeah.
Or Satan, or somebody who's going to ruin democracy, or a Nazi. What you're pointing to is the rhetoric that we attach to certain people puts them in danger potentially.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about association fallacies recently, remember? And when you associate people to these horrific figures in history, or demons, or threats, then crazy people will say, I got to take out the threat. I'm going to do it. And they do it. And
It's insane.
or they attempt, and it's insanity. Yeah.
People are insane. The
They
fact
are.
that they do that.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
We live in a country with a constitution, a lot of freedoms, and if your ideas can't win in the public channel of debate, if your ideas can't win there, then violence is not the way.
Violence shouldn't be the way. Yeah,
Violence
for some
is
reason, a
not
lot
the
of
way.
people think that is the way.
Yes.
Right?
Imagine thinking that I'm going to convince people that my ideas are better through violence.
Like, that's insane.
It is insane, but that's the way some people think. Particularly, certain ideologies that want revolutions and real radicals. And there are radicals on both sides, right? There's the far left, then there's the far right. And so on the far left, you might think of communists. On the far right, you might think of fascists. And both of them have some flawed ideologies, but that's where the radical things tend to come out. And so you've probably heard a lot of fascist references to Trump and others who are clearly not fascist, but they like to call them fascist because then you get to demonize them and dehumanize them.
Yep. And call them Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so that's a really good point in that some of that rhetoric can be a big factor. What do you think about the reactions to Charlie Kirk's murder? What do you take of that? You've seen some things on social media or on the news, but
seen a lot, yeah. On YouTube, I've seen a lot of people that are actually sad for Charlie's death. I even posted a video about it.
Right.
But the comments are like, why are you sad that Charlie died? Like, he was a horrible person. And I just don't get it. Like, and like, the only people that are posting, those are sad videos. But the comments, like, 75% of them are just people, like, hating on Charlie.
Yeah, right.
I've seen that also on the Instagram comments that you've showed us. There's like been a lot of bad people who have DM'd you and stuff. Bad people in the comments. Now you're basically kind of like publicly humiliating them, kind of, right? Saying like, this is an awful idea. Why do you think this is good that somebody died, right? Like,
right. We've had a lot of pretty vile people reach out, like telling us we should be next, things like that. Crazy. And the real threats will expose, but there's just a lot of disgusting people in there too celebrating it.
The fact that people are so evil, right? And they are happy about somebody being dead is literally insane.
It is. There's no other way to put it. Where do we go from here? Where do you think Turning Point goes? How do you feel about the movement? Maybe what we can do to carry Charlie's voice forward?
Well, I remember Erica Kirk, when she was talking on the live, she said that they will never stop and they'll keep going they'll keep going. They're never going to stop.
Right.
So, that's probably a sign that they're going to keep on going with the business. So.
Right. They're getting incredible outpour of donations to keep opening chapters. We've had a lot of people reach out to us, very touching. We put out a couple of posts, celebrating Charlie, and a lot of young people wanted to have their voice heard that they are going to embody Charlie, and so people can see that.
We actually put out today, which is kind of gotten viral.
Yeah, one of them went kind of viral today, saying, "I am Charlie Kirk." Young people basically embodying Charlie, which I think he would appreciate. But okay, so Turning Point is going forward. Anything else?
Well, there's also now, as I've heard before, there probably will not be any more people speaking outside, right? Without being like probably inside, like on a gymnasium or something, or like an auditorium where they speak.
Yeah.
Because it might be slightly safer.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing.
So yeah, these outdoor events might get shut down to some extent. However, it's been fun to see Ben Shapiro and a couple others came out and said, we are going to absolutely keep our campus tours and maybe even increase the level of campus tours. But for safety reasons, yes, they may be more inside versus outside. I think when they're outside, you can get a lot of attendees and it can be a cooler atmosphere. And so it's too bad that you have to worry about threats like this when you're having civil discourse.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I've been thinking of is now there's probably a little thought even in the back of my head and probably in the back of your guys' heads also, and probably everybody who's online, right? Now the worry that you might actually get shot or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty brutal.
Right.
Like, it's one thing to see like a bullet miss Trump, right? It's another thing to see somebody dead
Yeah.
after being shot. It actually instills like something in your mind, thinking like, "Oof, I don't know, I don't want to die," right? But also you want to keep pushing forward because you do want to be like you want to be the next Charlie, or I kind of want to be the next Charlie Kirk, right? The person that spreads on his legacy and in a nice manner.
You're right.
Yet you also don't really want to die, so now it's probably just that thought in the back of people's head.
Right. Yeah, it's scary.
Very scary.
Right? It's scary thinking, wow, I can just be shot because I'm speaking or sharing my opinions or debating with people who don't agree with me. Max, like, does this motivate you more or less? Are
Both.
you nervous? What do you think?
Well, I'm nervous because if we get big enough and Democrats stay like this, well, there's a chance that we might or one of us maybe might get assassinated or something.
Yeah.
So that's one reason. But then the other reason is that since he died, it can't like back us down. We need to, keep going so we can inspire same people who Charlie Kirk inspired. So that's another reason.
Let's kind of wrap up the Charlie assassination topic, and let's talk a little bit about just a retrospect view of 100 episodes. We've been at this now for a while, good year and a half, and we've got 100 episodes under our belt on the podcast. We've got, gosh, I don't know, hundreds of posts out on social media. We've grown. What do you guys make of all this? What's the journey been like?
Wow. Well, the journey has been very fun. We've had a lot of cool guests on. It's also been kind of hard, but that's also, what you expect from any journey, basically. A journey that brings prosperity should not be super easy, right?
Yeah, good.
Like, I bet you Elon Musk did not make Tesla in one day and suddenly got $1 billion, right? So
That's right.
it's definitely a journey, but I think we've come a long way. I think overall, this thing has been amazing.
Max, what's your take? What do you think about this trip we've been on, GSD?
Whew, I mean, it's been a long journey just to get to 100 episodes. And, like Joe Rogan has like, what, 23,000 or something like that. So, like, compared to him, we're only like a little ant.
Yeah.
But, so we've at least made to 100 podcasts. But if we keep going, I feel like we can really make this into a growing movement.
Yeah. And do you guys think you've gained skills in this endeavor we've been on?
Yes.
Definitely.
Like what kind of skills?
I honestly
Talking
think
to people at least, because I remember I kind of was a little, at least me and Will were kind of shy sometimes, just talking to like random people. But now we get to meet them and we get to talk and we have questions. So
yeah. Well, I agree with Max. Right, we are very talkative at home, but then at school and stuff we are kind of shy. But now we're definitely more talkative. Also, I think we've learned how to think better, or think more critically.
Okay.
Right, where now we're able to process down something, realize that's more of the best answer, wrong answer, the benefits, drawbacks, all those things. We just like learned a lot in general from all of the guests that we've had on, right?
Yeah.
Like we've had Bitcoin, we've had some trans people on, right? We've had like
Brandon Tatum.
We've had so many different types of people on,
right?
And we've learned so much from that. So that's something I'd say I definitely have learned.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's, part of the purpose was to learn, build communication skills, and also understand what it's like to grow a business and the pain that goes along with it. It's not easy, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's also really fun sometimes. Yeah, you've met some incredible people. And so you've also learned a lot. Would you say when you go to school and you talk about whether it's politics or the economy or money, do you think you're more equipped than some of your classmates?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially in history class now. talking about American politics, like Federalist, Anti-Federalist, and all that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It's been really cool. Definitely learned a lot of skills. Like if we ever go into like a media business or like I don't know, maybe like we make T-shirt designs or maybe like I don't know, we make thumbnails or we
Yep.
come up with questions for people, right? Now we're much more equipped with all those things.
Yeah.
And also now if we ever want to actually start a business of our own, right? Now we know how to set up like a website, do media in general.
Right.
Because now, and I've learned this from Shark Tank, right? Media is a very key way to grow your business.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
well, everybody's on the media.
Yeah.
So
yeah, media,
it's a great-
marketing. You learn a bit about marketing. We've figured out what kind of videos do better than others, how to get our ideas done crisply. And so I think our content looks better and it's sharper than it was when we started. We just tried to get a little bit better every time, right?
Every single time.
Yeah, it's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this has been a good journey. We are not done. We got a long way to go. We're still absorbing the tragedy of last week. Everyone can send their prayers and thoughts to the Kirk family. There's going to be a memorial coming up on Sunday. I imagine it'll be very well attended. With that, let's close out.
All right.
Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, and share.
See ya.
Thank you.